Hello everyone, and welcome to my first lap guide that I'm going to post on my brand new YouTube channel, the E. Smith Racing channel. This is probably my favorite track, my favorite oval track. We're at Michigan International Speedway today. You know, 4 turns, 2 miles, pretty steep banking, but it feels like a carousel. And the biggest thing here, in my opinion, as far as keeping up speed, is worrying about the exits of the corners, which I feel like I'm very good at. So let's go take a lap, and we'll see where we get. Put it in first. Nice and easy off the pit lane. And as I was saying about the exits, one of the biggest things here is rear grip and managing that rear grip over the entire course of the run. The way the bumps are, the seams are, and the changes in banking is it likes to upset the rear end of the race car, especially on older tires. The weather we're running today is the max 90 degrees Fahrenheit with a partly cloudy track, partly cloudy atmosphere. And this is in afternoon conditions. This is my first lap right out of pit road, right after I joined the session. And honestly, the car has a lot more grip than I thought it would. Favorite turn in racing right there, in oval racing. So some of the biggest notable points in my lap. I always like to go down to the apron on the front straightaway because it is curved. You save about a half tenth if you don't, compared to if you don't. Through 1 and 2, you really got to get a nice arc sometimes, but other times you can just throw it down and kind of just hook this second lane right here. You know, Michigan has a progressive banking as far as the bottom to the middle to the top. The top and the middle have the same amount of banking as each other, but the bottom, on the other hand, is lower. So you'll see everybody else running, you know, on the second lane, so one full lane up. So right here, I throw it to the bottom, in the gas, let it sit, mash it, let it turn itself. Don't fight it too much. Notice how my wheel is pretty dead on in the center. And then just manage your throttle and exit. Look for those bumps. Try and anticipate when the bumps are coming so that when you get there, you're not on the gas kicking the rear end out. A lot of guys through 3 and 4 like to run a line that shoots right up to the wall out of 4 straight away, but I always like to get right on top of that seam and just ride it until the very last minute, and then get a really straight shot off on the exit of 4. And it gives me a really good run, and it saves my tires also. So watch again. Get down in the corner here. Get right onto that seam. We can get there on the throttle. Stay right there. And then get a shot off right here, right towards the wall. Perfect, just like that. On lap 5, tires are starting to get a little worn. Exits are getting kind of iffy. These aren't the fastest laps because I am speaking while driving. But they serve as a good premise as to what I look for in the car and what I want to be doing. Part throttle, and then over the bumps, feel the car, and just adjust and anticipate. All the way to the bottom, come back up. And this isn't just a qualifying line, this isn't a hot lap line, this is an every lap of the entire race kind of line. obviously right there I had to work the wheel quite a bit because I'm getting a little too aggressive on exit out of 2. It is a hot track. Now this you might have to end up doing once the second lane gets worn in. The high line is overrated, or underrated, excuse me. Especially once it starts getting pretty slick down in that second groove. However, for me, I never really found that much speed in doing that in turns 1 and 2. I'm gonna run one final lap after this. That'll be the track guide for you. It's the bottom. It's okay. Get a good run off. All right, let's try and run a 5 here. 40.5. It's pretty lofty, but we can do it. Not if we hit the wall. If we spin it out. And we're spinning. So let's go to our fastest lap. Lap 1, 39.6. Not that fast, but still good nonetheless. Throw it in there. Get right to the bottom here. You want to get on the gas as quick as possible and just manage it over these bumps and over the transitions and the seams. Down the back, gonna hit around 200 miles per hour. Throw it right to the bottom. And let the car rotate enough to get to the seam on exit. Just try and stick down there before you head back up. Down to the bottom. Make sure you don't scrub too much speed getting down there. Right back up. That's a lap at Michigan.